Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Miguel here from Singing Tree Flutes. I thought today would be a good day to do a Sunday spiritual talk. And to all my viewers out there, I kind of want to just throw out a little apology because I've just been so busy. And I feel like sometimes we just get caught up in all of our posts being all about selling flutes, selling flutes, selling flutes. And that's not what I want my channel and my social media platforms to be all about. A large part of it for me is to just share who I am, share who we are here at Singing Tree Flutes, what we stand for, what we believe in, and what we're trying to share with all of you. So, again, apologies for making most of my posts about, oh, here's the next flute for sale, here's the next flute for sale. That's just the frantic efforts to keep the business rolling and keep you guys excited about flutes and all. But ever since this move, I'm on the property outside right now, and this little upper portion of my property, pretty beautiful. Anyway, since the move, it's just been overwhelming. We're, getting things ready for the winter, remodeling, the workshop mostly. We've been focusing on the workshop, putting all sorts of time and money and everything into getting that up and running. And, just life, busy. So again, apologies for not plugging in this way for quite a while. And here we are, holiday season, so you're going to be seeing all these holiday promotions popping up. But here we are in my yard. It's a beautiful day out here in the PNW. We don't get a ton of sunny days in the wintertime, so I'm going to take advantage of it, take you guys for a little walk. And first I wanted to show you this here, this tree that I got sitting here behind me. Can you see that? This is our buffalo tree from the buffalo ceremony that we do. The buffalo ceremony is a ceremony that I do. It's a ceremony that came to me from spirit, let's say. And this ceremony is about manifestation. It's about removing doubt and the obstacles that are in our way from receiving our best life. I've probably done some spiritual talks about that already, but I just wanted to give you a little peek into how it manifests itself, how we offer that to the people, or let's say how I do. And it's kind of a cool picture for me to look at that, because here all of these prayer flags on there. This year's buffalo ceremony, I think we had about 100 people show up, and it was so beautiful for so many reasons. I mean, if you know anything about me, you know that I have been for years really involved in the indigenous community. And so I myself have indigenous heritage. My father's from Puerto Rico, and through that, we're a mix of Spanish, Taino, native, and African blood. And even, let's just say, the culture of rural Puerto Rico, to me, when I look back and have memories from childhood, they very much parallel kind of the social structure of some of the indigenous cultures around here that I spend time with now. So there's a real kinship there. And I'm sure it's no coincidence that I was drawn to, the indigenous cultures here and their spirituality and all of that, because it feels like a piece of me. Anyway, so this buffalo ceremony, when we do that, even though I said it comes from, my own personal vision and everything, it's also connected to the Turtle Mountain people. And this year it was real special because that buffalo ceremony, through the different visions and stories that we tell, this buffalo ceremony reenacts stories of how the Ojibwe Sundance came to the people. There's 3 stories, and one of them is about the buffalo who mauled this boy who didn't follow the instructions of the Great Spirit. So within that ceremony, we reenact that story. And this year, my nephew, Trevor Gunville, he's from the Turtle Mountain Reservation, and he was past this ceremony. And I was told by Spirit this year when we were back at the reservation doing the thirsty dance, our sun dance, that I was supposed to give that to Trevor and his brother Dakota. And so he came out to Oregon, or to Washington, or I guess we did have it in Oregon. Washington, Oregon, basically the same state as far as I'm concerned, just with a river separating the two. So anyway, here in the PNW, Trevor came out, and that ceremony was officially passed to him while he was here. Anyway, so this ceremony, this tree and all of these things, those prayer flags on there represents everybody's dreams coming true. So, everybody makes those. There's tobacco inside of those prayer flags, and they put their prayers in there. What are their dreams? What is it that they're trying to create in their lives? What do they think of when they think of their best life? So here this tree sits now as all these prayer flags will get burned in our sweat lodge fires throughout the season. And then next year, this tree will be old and it will be withered. And that will be a tree that we use in next year's buffalo ceremony, because the first part of the buffalo ceremony is to stand this old and withered tree in the center of the circle that represents our tattered self, that self that feels like it's lifeless at times, that self that is infiltrated with doubt, with fear, with trauma, sometimes with sickness, different forms of sickness. And we stand that in the center of the circle, and the buffalo dance around that and destroy that tree. They knock it over, they break the arms off of it, and they do this dance where they're basically counting coup on this tree, and all of the people are focusing their doubt and their fears onto this tree, and the buffalo take that away from the people by destroying the tree. And so next year this tree will become that tree, and then a new tree with its leaves on it still and everything will take the place of this tree with all the prayer flags on it. So I just wanted to show you that, and again, looking at the picture of my life and how it created, like how prayers like this created this home that's sitting behind it. Do you know what I mean? And my workshop that's down the hill over there, and this piece of property where we get to come here and do ceremonies and have just a relaxing, peaceful place for me to reside, but also for people, and to share this with people. And it's all a symbol of everything that I'm talking about. Getting out of our own way, having faith that our greatest life is there for us, that the Great Spirit withholds nothing from us. And the only thing that's in the way from us receiving our best lives is our own self, And so here I am, basking in the success of my life. And I'll tell you, when I became a flute maker, one thing I decided at that time in my life was, no matter what, I'm not going to compromise who I am for money or any ideal of what people tell me how I'm supposed to find success, or what path I'm supposed to take to succeed. I think we get narrow-minded sometimes in the way that we think about how to map ourselves for success. We're going to do this, we're going to go to college, we're going to take this particular route, we're going to get X amount of, we're going to pursue this, we're going to take this major because this major might give me X amount of dollars per year, and therefore I'd be happy with that amount of money. And so even though that thing that I'm thinking about doing is all right sounding, it seems like a good path that I should take logically, or I think you get what I'm saying. We start closing at a real young age. We start closing are narrowing our possibilities of what it is that we can attain. You know what I mean? So we start compromising with ourselves. Oh, that's a pretty cool picture. I'm walking by this fountain. I cleaned it out the other day. A little too early because the leaves are already in there, but all that ice is forming around that pond. I probably turned it on right in the nick of time, or maybe that the pipes would have frozen cracked. Who knows? Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh no, I got distracted by the pond. Oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. So, we start at a young age narrowing the possibilities of what it is that's possible for us in our hearts and in our mind. You know what I'm saying? So again, at a young age, I decided I'm just going to do me. And I don't care what society says is a good path or not a good path, or a path to success or not. And, honestly, when I decided I was going to make flutes and do that, not to say I knew for sure it was going to be a life path, but I didn't think that far ahead. I was just doing what I enjoyed in the moment. And I was not willing to compromise who I am and what I love to do for money, or for, a more logical path of quote unquote success. And so, that was just a decision I made a real long time ago. And I remember thinking, well, if that means I live in my van for my adult life, I'm cool with that. That's a good life as far as I'm concerned, And I had to make a decision about, who I wanted to be and how I wanted to live and what I wanted to do with my time, and trust that, my greatest life will be laid before me. I never pursued money. I never pursued, a fancy house or anything like that. It's just a simple life. Again, going back to what I said in the beginning, a simple life, just like my aunts and uncles and my grandparents and great-grandparents had out in the island. That was a beautiful life. And when I was 10 years old, they didn't have doors on their houses. They had mosquito nets over their beds. They shared everything. Our whole mountainside was all family, all blood relatives. And to me, when I saw that at a young age, that's what I was aspiring to be like. It was about connecting to the earth. It was about, togetherness and things like that. And so those were always my pursuits. And so, I just went with it. And now, through this whole thing of just trusting that my path is, is leading me to my greatest life, there's plenty of everything. I have a beautiful home. I have enough money to travel and all of these things. And I, how do I put that? I owe it to the Creator. I owe it to the universe that these blessings have been brought to my life. I don't think of it in a conventional way of like, well, I'm a hard worker and I have developed a great product and all these things. And yeah, that is true. But I feel like my riches come from my commitment to be who I am all the way, and my willingness to help people along the way. I think that's a huge part of it, service. So anyway, I'm gonna sit this phone down here. I'm gonna set it here, and I'm gonna keep talking. That's a good little spot. Ooh, I like that spot. And then I'm gonna take a little squat over here. So yesterday, we had our very first sweat lodge on the property. I was so happy. We built this whole thing over here, planted some grass, laid a little retaining wall. Looks like you can see that a little bit here to level out the area. And we had our first sweat, and it was really, really great. Let's see if I can sit right here. Excuse any of the outdoor noise that you may get. So, we had a really, really great time. We had one of our elders, Uncle Chris, he's a Ojibwe man. He came out from about 2.5 hours north in Washington. He came down for the sweat, and it was really nice. We had him start the lodge out for us and share some teachings and honor the people. I've known him for over 20 years now, and you know, he's been my elder. He's a great man. He's a really great man, spiritual man, good connection to spirit, all that. And it was an honor to have him come out, and just a wonderful crew of new people. Some of our Singing Tree Flutes crew were out, but also a few of us who've been doing this for 20 plus years. It was a really good mix and a way to bless this lodge, this first sweat. And I just wanted to just sit here and maybe play a little flute and talk to you a little more. Yeah, and so, I guess most of what I'm saying today in this Sunday spiritual talk is that the world is our oyster. We've called it that before. The only obstacles that there are for us to receive our best lives are the ones that we put there. And so that's why we do our spiritual work and continue to try to improve, let go of our hurt, our past, the things that keep us stuck, so that we can be open to receive that life. That I mean, this is a saying, an old Native American quote. You probably hear it in some movies and stuff. It's a good day to die. That was an old quote I heard years and years and years ago. It's a good day to die. And I've always interpreted that as live your life for today, and don't wait for tomorrow. How do you say that? If today was my last day, I would be so grateful for this life, and I would have no regrets because of how I've chosen to live my life. And the blessings are countless. I mean, looking back, like, what an adventure. The opportunity to connect with these old ways of praying, they're just profound. And the things that I get to experience in this world, many people from this society, this mainstream United States, let's call it, has hardly of them have got to see the things that I've seen, you know what I mean, and be involved in the things that I'm involved in. And it's because I sought that out mostly through spirit and prayer, and was asked to be led to my greatest life again. So these beautiful things unfold, and these experiences that I have, and this connection with these what do you call them, almost underground cultures and things like that. What a blessing. And so all of this here is just the fruits of my labor. And what I say by my labor, it mostly means by what I put my attention to. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Again, I just wanted to share, do something a little different than, here's this awesome flute. And, this week coming up, if we get this posted today, if not, it'll be the week prior. So am I making sense? We're right here at Thanksgiving, and this, I don't know if you've heard, but people are starting to be aware they're changing that name to Indigenous Peoples Day, because I remember I was at this ceremony. We were asked to sing this ceremony. You guys might think this is ridiculous, but we were asked to go to this church and partake and help support this ceremony by singing songs, indigenous songs, And I was there with my grandpa Max Defender, and he's the Ojibwe. He is almost solely responsible for the vast amount of people that we touch here through the Ojibwe culture and their songs and their stories and their teachings. So I love him dearly. And anyway, so Max and his wife Barb and about probably 4 or 5 others, we went to this church where they were doing this kind of ceremony, and we had a talk circle there. And it was a little bit, it was silly, and this person was super innocent, but this person in the circle was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This like I don't remember how he put it, but he said something like, this is such a cool thing that we're all here together and there's real live Indians here. It kind of feels like Thanksgiving or something, something like that, or something. And it was a little bit like, whoa. I know he meant it in like a lighthearted, funny way, but then our grandma Barb, it was her turn to speak, and she just said, well, I hate to put a damper on Tom the turkey, but we don't, when we think of Thanksgiving, it's a totally different story than the one we were taught in school. And so, maybe we won't get into that conversation here, but I think people are understanding that, the way that Thanksgiving is, and this way it was sold to us as this, beautiful dinner or whatever feast that we had with Indian people and pilgrims and stuff, that really, really wasn't how it all played out. So anyway, we're changing that name to Indigenous Peoples Day. Here we are looking at this sweat lodge here and that buffalo tree there, all that are, at least stem from, root from indigenous cultures. We honor those people. We honor the elders that have taught me so many things and taught us that the fundamental teaching. I was just learning this new word we've been saying, but the correct interpretation of ma my way, mo my way. That means like togetherness, and that on a deeper level, that means unity, consciousness. That means another word people use in Lakota language, mitakwe oyasin. That means we're connected to all things. The Creator created this earth and all things and us, and that all of these things are relatives, you know what I mean? And when we're talking to the great mystery, the Creator of the universe, that Creator can talk to us through all of nature, all of the animals and the birds and the wind and these leaves falling here. And so, we give thanks to the Indigenous people for those teachings and those cultures. I'll just play a quick little flute song with this drone flute I brought out here, and then I'll leave you to having yourselves a beautiful day. Thanks for chiming in. Give us a thumbs up, follow us if you like, and we hope to see you again.